freezing, which is kind of why I wanted to get out today. It's a little bit last minute, but yeah, I got some stuff together and here I am. I've got a tent I've never used before. What's new there? And it's a hot tent because it's getting down to about -4 tonight, I think. Snow in a lot of the country today. I don't see us getting that, but who knows. I'm out and I want to enjoy it. This is my big ass tent. It is about 3.5 meters wide, so I think this spot should be okay. I've had some pretty big tents in this spot before, and it's a pop-up. What colour? It's like a sultan's pyjamas or something. Is this dirt or dye off the black or something? That's weird. Right, let's have a look at it. I knew it was very blue, but this is kind of like a crushed velvet kind of thing. It's got kind of a checker flag kind of design on it as well. Well, as you can see, it's pop up like a lot of the designs I've used recently, so it's one panel at a time. Right, so she's all up. Didn't take too long, to be honest, just a few panels around the outside. And that big one on the top is kind of hard to kind of hold it down whilst pushing it up. I suppose you could peg it out first. But it's not as tall as I thought. It's not as big as the ice fishing tent that I used last year. It was insulated. This is very similar, but not quite the same. Looks to be a vent. Yep. And another. Have a look on the inside. It's a weird blue light in here, but as you can see from here, this is where you would do your ice fishing, which does not align with the stove jack. So I was assuming this was the stove jack, but that's just the vents. Other one? Nope. So does that mean one of these many windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's just not on one wall, it's 6-sided. That's just mesh as well. So every one of the 5 windows has this inside insulated material, then like a PVC or TPU, whatever it's called, and then there's the mesh that's actually sewn in. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm not being dumb, there's definitely not a stove jack on here. Maybe there was a different model. This is an AliExpress purchase and you're always kind of trying your luck with that. Maybe it was a bigger size or something like that. You're going to have to get creative. So my choices are cut into one of these windows, which are at quite a steep angle. So that chimney, I don't know if I trust this material. And the other choice, of course, is these vents in the roof, which are a much better angle, but they're on the opposite side to the open bit of floor where I would like to put the stove. I didn't bring like a heatproof mat with me, so I didn't think I'd need it. Interesting. So this is the flap I'm choosing. I'd like to just cut it there and have it folded back, but I don't want the wind to blow it onto a very hot chimney and melt it or whatever. So, probably going to have to just take it off. I can't remember how much this cost because I bought it a little while ago, so I might not look. Oi, oi. This isn't velcroed all the way around, so it's another one to cut. Oh, I think I just cut the stitching on this. I don't know, let's cut it. Got a bit overzealous and made a hole. It's not meant to rain tonight. So while I'm in here, we have got an inlet for air and power lines, if you wanted to use them for such things, and a couple of pockets. I'm really hoping this bit is inside here because it's not in the bag and I can't really run this stove without it. Oh dear. My idea is to build up the chimney so I know where to put the stove on the ground, where it lines up with the hole. Is that dead on? Which does put the stove in front of one of the doors, but luckily there is two. Right, let's see if this other bit is in here, or if this is a disaster. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm so gutted. I kind of based this whole camp around having the stove, the tent, and you know, the food I'm cooking needed the oven that's inside the stove. Gutted. I think what I'm going to have to do is come back tomorrow. I don't think it's quite as cold, but it is still going to be cold. This was meant to be the coldest day, but I think I'm going to have to ditch. Gutted. Alright, I'll pass me over to future Andy. Okay guys, I'm back. Put the tent back up. It's lucky it's a pop-up one, doesn't take long. And I've got the Winterwell stove, and I've got the oven to go with it as well, so I'm going to get that set up. Also picked up a little bit for the stove jack as well, so we should be golden this time. Shouldn't have said that, something else is going to go wrong. Right, so I've got some heat-proof material for the stove jack. Now, I would ordinarily obviously put it on the outside. I don't think it's going to rain, though surprisingly it's colder today. It's meant to get down to -5 now. Yeah, so I'm going to do it here, and I've got a secret weapon. So this heat-proof material is from last year when I converted a transparent dome into kind of a hot tent, and this is from when I did that weird bubble wrap tent. So I'm going to use this adhesive Velcro to help this adhere to the tent. Right, plan number 2, the adhesive doesn't really stick to the heat-proof material, so we are just going to have the stove pipe hold it in place. Well, the only bit of a problem we have here is that this stove sticks out more. The other one's more vertical, let's say. So I'll probably have to have it side on, which makes it a little more awkward to feed, but gives me room for laying down. I hope it gives me room for laying down. This is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. This is not 3.5 meters across. We have to check the listing. Right, that's better, a little light in here now. I have got my cot bed with me, but looking at it in here I'm not actually sure it will fit. So I'm going to inflate the mat first and see how that does. And I suppose you don't actually have to have the cot, it doesn't really matter. There's no actual place to hang a lantern, but this lantern, the handle does come off, so I can kind of thread it over the bar here and then slot the ends back in. It's hard, but let me try and show you the whole thing in here. So the stove's there and that's kind of covering one door and is at an angle. And then here's the mat, which is kind of just about there. So yeah, it doesn't give me a whole lot of room. It's enough. Just another angle there. It's fine size way, it's just not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be much bigger. In fact, let's look at that listing now. So this is it. It's outdoor camping, ice fishing tent, insulated, blah de blah. It apparently £200. I may have even paid more, I don't know. So let's go to the options there. Silver, 3 to 4 people. Blue, 3 to 4 people. 5 to 8 people. So, okay, 108 centimetres. Right, no, it appears I'm wrong. Been buying too many tents for videos. Still, I think 3 to 4 people's a push. Well, isn't it always on tents? It does say here, using firewood heater port design, it is more convenient to use firewood heater for heating. So does that mean like the small ports at the bottom? Could you have an outdoor heater? Well, whatever. I got it wrong anyway. I thought the vents on the roof were for a chimney. But, hey, it's fun to dabble with it. So this is my sit on top oven for the Winterwell stove. It's not quite as efficient as the one that sits in the chimney, but I don't think that would fit in here. There's a bit of a burn in here from something I cooked last winter. I can't even remember what it was. Forgot about that. I was just thinking I'd better peg this out, and look at these anchors. I guess for the ice, if you're ice fishing. So, through here. Got this insulation underneath the hole. A bit daft. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Oh, that's much nicer having somewhere to sit down in here now, because it's quite a vertical tent really. I think it's taller than it is wide, but it will get warm up here when that stove's going. I'm a little close to it, so I'm going to have to be careful. This doesn't really go any further into the corner, but I can dump my junk down the side there. These doors are actually pretty small, because you'd expect them to open from both sides, which they don't. But at least they've got that Velcro, and they've got a nice flap there. Would be curious to know if this is actually waterproof. Don't know if I'll get them shut. Try later. This video is sponsored by me. So these are the gift sets of the sauces. Because we've kind of going into Christmas sales and stuff now, straight from the pre-orders, I've decided to keep the same introductory price until after Christmas. So yeah, you can get them on the website now, kentsurvival.com. At the moment, still UK only postage. In the new year, I'm going to try and sort out kind of worldwide and stuff. But yeah, get them now. Thought my pocket was bulky. This was in it still. And you can see the insulation layer, the outer layer, and the inner layer there. And I was a bit curious. It's a bit melty, but it doesn't catch. Yeah, I think we're safe. Well, it's that time to collect some wood. I do have some. You probably saw some in the back of the truck, but it's always good to collect some when you have the opportunity, especially when it's quite dry. And I can stow it away, I can take it with me, I can use it if I need it. Just better to have it than need it. That'll do, I've got plenty more. Just got the sit pad out of the truck and look what I found. It's the bit I was missing off that stove. Fuming. Anyway, I just need to batten down a few little bits for getting the stove started. Probably a couple of times because I'll probably do it in the night and in the morning. So the only knife I've got is my cooking knife. But it should do the job. This is quite brittle, this is kiln dried. Been processing this off camera. Well, that's the firewood done. The truck's only over there, so if I do run out I can just go do some more with my head torch on. It's no bother. But it's starting to cool down a bit more and the sun is going down. It's down below the tree line now. Ah, yeah, mentioning the truck, I've got it back. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of you saw on Instagram it on the back of a recovery truck. Well, it wasn't a big thing, it's just I got to my mum's house and it dumped a load of diesel. I'd already replaced the fuel valve, relief valve, and it was a shoddy one, so it just needed to be done again. So yeah, I've got it back and it's all on the road and going well. Well, it's not on the road, it's in the woods. Ah, right. Might have a cuppa. Right, this sure is awkward to film, but I've actually moved this around. I wasn't happy with the way it was. This is going to be a little bit easier for me. So I'm just going to use some wood wool to get it going. And I might actually use 2 of those. And the kindling that I cut down. Some slightly bigger bits as well. Make sure the back's open there. Fire resistant material is not quite as fire resistant, well, not smoulder resistant as I thought. I mean, it's not supposed to really come in full contact like that, I guess, but I stuffed these in because the chimney was starting to sway a little bit when I moved the stove. Well, that is the tone of this camp. I may rejig the stove jack, just let this burn down and have a play, because I'm not completely happy with that. Okay, I've redone it and I have used the double-sided Velcro, so it seems to be holding in place, although it does still smoulder where it kind of contacts a bit. But I'll put the rest of the chimney on now. On the dark side out there now, I can hear a pheasant squawking around. Won't do it now. But I've got a beer. I didn't really drink much of my tea because I started playing around with the stove jack and whatnot. But I've got a Mikkeller Nordlies Session IPA, so left over from the Beer 52 promotion I did last week. So cheers everybody. Ooh, that's quite nice. I like that. Ooh, always make a note when there's one that I like. I've already ordered a load from one of the ones that was in the Beer 52 thing that I had last week. Ah, this is cosy. I've got the doors wide open still. I'll get them closed in a bit because it is chilling right down, but lovely in here. I completely forgot to mention it, but the reason I needed the stove and the oven for dinner is I was doing a bit of a Thanksgiving. Just happened to notice it. I've meant to do one before just for the fun of it. I have done Thanksgiving dinners before at home for someone, but yeah, I thought I've been meaning to do one camping for some time, just timings have never lined up. But yeah, that's the reason for the oven. So yeah, we're going to be doing some turkey and some trimmings to go with it. It's warming up in here. I mean, it's insulated, so that makes sense, and it's not as cold as it's gonna be later. But yeah, I've opened the window and I'm looking quite rosy, aren't I? It's that kind of temperature change. But yeah, it's very cosy. I mean, ideally a smaller stove in here. Well, you're not supposed to have a stove in here, are you, I guess? Ideally. But hey ho. Here was where I find out if I brought everything I needed. But I've got some sweet potatoes and my open all peeler. Nice and bushcrafty. So I'm just going to peel these, cut them down to get a sweet potato mash. Get all them chopped up small and in the pot. And I may as well use the water from the kettle, plus some extra. Another beer. I'm not rushing them down. I'm probably having quite an early night tonight. It's been up since like 5, doing bits and bobs here and there, and yeah, back here obviously. I'm quite liking this tent. I might keep it and modify it more permanently. I do slightly wish I bought the bigger one, but this is quite bulky and heavy enough, to be honest, so maybe this is okay. A smaller stove, it'll be good. And a more permanent stove jack. Maybe even make a stove jack over the side where you can open up the floor. That might be safer. Alright, so they've been boiled. So I'm going to, it's going to be a little tricky this, but I'm going to mash them with the back of the fork in this little pot. So I'll put in a couple at a time, get them mashed up. Ooh, and I've got some butter to add in here as well. Got some butter to put in there, and some salt. And we'll just get that mixed in and mash it down a bit further. Time to get that oven warming up. Hopefully whatever burnt on there before isn't going to smoke too much. This is my turkey parcel that I made because I couldn't find any. Everywhere's saying they sell stuff like this right now, but they're not right now. So it's stuffing in the middle, it's turkey breast, kind of steak wrapped, and I've twined it up. But I do have bacon for breakfast, so I figured it'd be rude not to wrap it. Something like yay. Well, the temperature is only just starting to rise, but I may as well stick it in. Start it going. Meant to bring a thermometer, but I completely forgot, so we'll have to do it by eye, I guess. Burnt my bloody finger on the door. Got to get back into the swing of the hot tent season. I've got a couple of very interesting tents to use over winter. It's meant to be a cold winter, which is good, but yeah, I've got some doozies. Looking forward to trying them. Need to top and towel the green beans before I stick them in the pot. They're ready. A little bit of waste on there, but it's quite a small pot, so yeah, that should do. Temperature's starting to get up there. Just been keeping the sweet potatoes warm on the top of the oven here, and I suppose it's time to lay on some marshmallows. I know a lot of British people who have never seen this. And yes, it is very weird, but we're going for it. Thanksgiving. So I'm going to stick this in the oven with the turkey. Put it up on the top shelf here. Move that over a bit. In here we have the green beans. They've been sat on top so warming through anyway, but I'm going to use the water in there to make the gravy. Right, so here we go. I've got my turkey. I just cut into it to check on it and it looked pretty good. Looks like a turkey sausage, doesn't it? Got a kind of dinner roll there as well, which I've been nibbling on. Okay, my marshmallow sweet potatoes. Just take a bit for the moment. Should be more browned on top, but you know, I haven't got a grill or broiler, whatever you would like to call it. And I've got my green beans here. And some gravy. How did I almost forget cranberry? It's lovely and warm in here, even with that door open. Here it is. Actually looks alright. I didn't know if it would be enough, but sweet potatoes. I maintain it's a bit weird with the marshmallows, but when in Rome, right, try some of my turkey and stuffing with a little bit of cranberry. That's good. This is not bad. You have to get creative when you're kind of cooking on like a stove like this or campfire or whatever, kind of reusing pots and timings, and sometimes you have to kind of boil something and leave it in the hot water while you do something else, but yeah, this has worked out quite nice. Green beans. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in USA. Thank you for watching. I actually really enjoyed that. And my beer's all gone, which is a shame. I'm going to chill out for a bit, and I've got one of my special hot chocolates to have in a bit. Well, today I've got a Snickers hot chocolate to try out. So I'll get some of that in there. Quite a small cup this, so maybe not all of it. It's quite a lot. Had to walk to the car and have a pee, and just happened to turn around and saw a pair of eyes following me. Tried walking over to it, I'm guessing it was a fox, but ran away before I could get to it, couldn't see properly. Ooh. Not my favourite. Rather than peanuts and caramel and stuff, like a Snickers, it tastes more like peanut butter, which is not my favourite. A bit coffee-like also, it's weird. But it is sweet, bit of a sweet kick before bed. And yeah, just gonna chill out for a little bit and then get some sleep, so I'll see you guys in the morning. It's cold out there. It's lovely in here though, especially got a few coals now. Ooh yes. Myself a nice cup of tea. I used my big sleeping bag last night. I thought I'd bring out the winter bag with it getting cold, and these are my winter thermals. Swap them over before this trip as well. It's warming up outside now, still bleeding cold, but yeah, I'll have this and I'll start prepping my breakfast. Right, kind of off the Thanksgiving theme here now. I'm pretty sure you guys don't have pigs in blankets, but I'm going to. So I've got some chipolatas, just they cook a bit quicker than a normal size sausage, and I'll bacon wrap them, ready for that oven. May as well use it as I've got it here. I'm going to put the tiniest bit of oil on here just so they don't stick. And then get on my piggies. Yeah, I feel that's getting hot. And the thermometer's just a little slow. Buzzards going off big time out there. Still a bit breezy out there. It was quite windy all night. Well, from what I heard anyway. Ooh, I think I got a splinter. Yeah, these pigs in blankets shouldn't take long, and I was debating what sauce to have with them, because I've got my sauces, but I kind of want cranberry with them. Right, I'm making way with these piggies so I can warm up a bread roll. bit crispier would have been nice, but they are just fine. So got my cranberry to go in my pigs in blanket roll. Roll is nice and warm. This is gorgeous. You cannot beat a pig in blanket. Why don't we eat these all year round? Still pretty windy, but the sun's coming out. For the record, it went back in. That's me all packed up. It might not have been on the right day, but I still really enjoyed it. Good to do some hot tenting again. Thank you for watching. Link for source below, and see you next week. Bye.